Latin 1, I've been getting requests for a video on cases. Now, we did talk about cases in class, but I totally get it. It's been a while since we talked about it. Cases are weird. They're the aspect of Latin that's the least like English. Also, there's a few new people in this class who weren't here when we talked about it. So, yeah, let's talk about cases for a minute. And to do it, I'm going to use the example of this word. It's just a random word in the first declension. One that we've seen means road, road or street. So we have we I. And if you were to look it up in the dictionary, that's the way it would be listed. And what this is what we call the nominative form and then the genitive ending. In fact, anytime you look up any noun in your dictionary or anytime that they introduce a new vocab word in our textbook, they always give it to you in this form with the nominative form, like the full nominative form, and then the genitive ending beside it. And the reason why they do that is because that tells you what declension the noun is in. This is in the first declension, and the A and the AE tell me that. You see, if I put this in all of the forms it comes in, this is the table that I get. And you can see my NGD, AK, AB, that stands for nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative. All right, and this is just the traditional way of writing this table out. So the A and AE in the dictionary or in the vocab list, that's telling you to decline this word along this pattern. Because every noun is going to decline, not randomly, but according to some pattern. And for thousands of them, it's the first declension. So these endings that are on "wea" are on a whole bunch of other nouns. And already in our text, we see a lot of nouns in the first declension that have these endings, specifically these endings, because all first declension nouns do. That's how they work. All right? So if you were to pronounce this, it would be starting in the nominative singular and going down. It would be wea, weai, weai, weam, wea, weai, wearum, weis, weas, weis. All right? That's what you would say. And the point of learning these, and you should learn them. If we were together in the room, I would be making you do this a lot more often. The point of learning them is because all of these meanings, all these endings have meanings. They communicate something. This isn't just the word road written down 10 times. I know it's only 10 because I left out the vocative. You'll live without the vocative. It's not just me writing down the road 10 times, it's me writing down the road with different spellings that indicate that it's doing something different in the sentence. And I even got some sentences ready so that you can see this word in actual use in sentences that mean stuff. So up here at the top, right? I have an N there because I went ahead and put these examples in order. So via longa est, in this sentence, via is in the nominative form, and it's in the nominative form because it is the subject of that sentence. The road is long. All right? The road is the subject of is, long is what it is. Okay? Whereas if we look at the genitive example, right, this one here next to the G, that says something a little bit different. And you see that we are spelled different. It's not spelled we anymore. Now it's spelled we, because it is not the subject of this sentence. What that sentence says is, I do not know the length of the road. Right? My subject here is I. You don't actually see the word I in there, but my verb is first person, nescio. So if it's first person, that means the subject is I. And then I have an object, that's longitudinem, the length. But then I'm going to translate via as of the road. Right? Or if you want, you could use R-O-A-D apostrophe S, the road's length. I don't know the road's length, right? Because I'm talking about the length of the road, and the genitive form is what means of the road. There's not a word in here that represents of. It's represented by the ending on via, right? I know the dative one, it looks the same. This is a quirk of the first declension specifically, but the genitive and dative look the same, but they still have a slightly different context to them. This is actually not a very good example of the dative, but what it says is, I often give gifts to the road. You probably would not give gifts to the road, although you could if you want to, and this is grammatically how you would say it. I should have picked a better noun for the dative, but anyway. If we're doing road, right? Do would be I give. Again, it's a first person verb. Dona is the object. That's what I give. And then I have to have a dative for who I give it to. And in this case, I'm giving it to the road. So I often give gifts vi to the road. Now, a much more normal, logical example would be this one down here. Nolite viam laedere. This is the example I put up for, as you can see, the accusative, right? This is my AC there. And that's a command. It says, don't harm the road or don't damage the road, right? So my verbal idea is nolite and laedere together, don't hurt or don't damage. And then my object is the accusative, viam. And am there means that it is a direct object. And yeah, I know we've already seen prepositional phrases, so we know the accusative can do some other stuff, but our main thing that it does is act as a direct object, and that's what it's doing here. Don't harm the road, okay? And then down here in the ablative, this is actually real similar to a lot of examples we've seen. So, esne in vila files, is there a cat in the road? Right? Our subject here is feles, the cat. Subjective is, but then we have the ablative here to show place where. And if you want, a fuller understanding of ablatives, I did post a video on things the ablative does. This specifically would be a place where. That's one of the things the ablative does, is it can show a place where. So is there a cat in the road? And in via is in the preposition with ablative via to show where the cat is, or I guess asking where the cat is. And even though I didn't put the vocative in the table, I even put a vocative down here just for those of you who really badly want to see the vocative. You probably would not use this word in the vocative, but the vocative is direct address, so if you needed to talk to the road, then you would use this vocative form, and you would say, via, tiam bonum agis. Road, you having a good day? Are you having a good day? I don't know. We'll see. But that's how you would ask the road if the road was having a good day. You would say, hey, road. That's the vocative via, and then this other junk. Now, that's what the cases do, and that's the role of the cases no matter what declension you're in. But then one of the things that people really struggle with is actually memorizing these endings, and I wish I had good advice for you that wasn't this, but it really just comes down to repetition. Here's the thing, you don't have to memorize road. You just got to memorize the endings that go on road, because those same endings that go on road are going to go on so many other nouns. Every first declension noun uses those endings. If you know what those endings mean on road, then you know what those endings mean on everything. So when you're trying to get that repetition down, focus on the endings. I, aram, is, as, is. You can say that over again. It's rhythmic. It'll stick in your head. I, aram, is, as, is. You get good at it, you say it fast. I, aram, is, as, is. And if you really need the repetition of putting it on a word, then pick random words from the first declension. They don't even have to be words that you even know. They can be words you've never seen before that use these endings that you can still apply these endings to, and you can say those over and over and over again. And that same principle applies to every declension. I've been focusing on the first declension just because I used a first declension example, but the same goes for memorizing the second. You just got to memorize a different set of endings because this is the second pattern that nouns fall into. Us, I, o, I, orum, is, os, is. Us, I, o, is, orum, sorry. I, orum, I don't want to start this video over. I got other stuff to do, so we're just going to take that mess up and roll. Us, I, o, I, orum, is, os, is. Yeah, flaws and all. You're getting it, flaws and all today. This same principle also applies to the third declension. Now, the third declension does have the weird thing because there's, not a consistent nominative. But starting from the genitive on down, you get is, I, es, ibus, es, ibus. Is, I, es, ibus, es, ibus. Okay? Now, obviously, this is not the, end of the discussion on nouns because I didn't show you the fourth and fifth declension. I didn't talk about stem changes in the third declension, and I didn't talk about neuters. But this is a real good place to start, especially while we're in the first quarter of Latin 1. Get these ones down first, all right? These are the endings that you really want to focus on and get. And once you've got these ones, filling in those other ones will start to make more sense, all right? I promise I'll follow this up soon with a thing about first stem changing in the third declension, then neuters, and then the fourth and fifth, all right? But this video is already long, and I already messed up, and I'm not going to refilm the mess up, so clearly I got to move on to my next task for the day, all right? But I will see you guys ever so soon.